The National Professional Fishing Leauge is the newest professional league that's been out there in the industry. We're going into year 5. We try to provide a platform that's open to a lot of various different anglers and guys who have kind of a higher level of tournament experience than what we've had before.
God, it's a big one.
I've heard about the NPFL since they've started. This is year 5 for them, and they've done well. They've had a good group of guys. What they have not had is they don't have a lot of problems. I don't think bass fishing needs drama. I really don't. I think we just need to show up and go bass fishing. That's what I've done my entire life.
We joke ourselves that we're a league of opportunity. So we're giving guys a chance to come out and compete against the Greg Hackneys and the Jason Christies and Scott Canterbury's and Patrick Walters and Drew Cook. They get to line up next to those guys and see how they measure up.
I'm glad to come over here where they just talk about bass fishing and they just watch guys bass fish. And it's just simple. That's the way fishing should be, is simple. And that's the reason I'm fishing the NPFL. So I'll be honest with you, I had a conversation with Brad Fuller last year. All this drama was out there about who was gonna do what about the front-facing sonar. And he goes, I think I'm gonna get rid of it from their organization. It's caused a lot of drama in our industry. I don't think there's ever been anything that has impacted our industry positive or negative wise more so than the front-facing sonar technology. And so he said he was gonna ban it. And I was like, before I could really even think about what I was doing, I said, well, I can tell you this, if you ban it, I'll fish with you. I knew I would do that. It is the best time of the year to go bass fishing, especially to be on one of the top 10 lakes in the nation. I'm like, yeah, I definitely needed to be here. We're gonna go across the lake this morning. I haven't been over there, and because I just need something on both sides because of the wind, in case it blows out what I got on this side. And then this afternoon, we're gonna rotate back around on this side and check some stuff that I haven't fished since the first day of practice. So when they came up with that deal of basically a more instinctive style of fishing, to me that was exciting. I mean, because that's the way I grew up fishing. My adversary to make this game, make it worth playing for me, I don't want to be able to see it. And what I mean by that, when you catch one, you start looking for something else that's similar to that, you know, because you're making an educated guess. I'm guessing where that fish is going to be at. I can't see it. I'm such a visual fisherman and always have been. So much of my fishing has just been basically me teaching myself. So I just look at things probably a little different from what a lot of people do. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, you know. I'm nervous. You're always nervous. You don't never know what's going to happen, you know. The weather's changing every day, but yeah, it's been like a vacation fishing trip for 2 days. Now, it does have a tendency to change once the tournament starts. And the other deal is, and I will tell you this, the 2 areas that I fished the first couple days of practice, I'm very familiar with. Does that make sense? Now, I have fished in here before. I practiced in here the last Bassmaster, and I didn't catch anything, okay? But I just know historically, this is a super good area, and we're here at the right time. I felt like it's a good time for me to learn, you know, a little bit about this area of the lake. I'm gonna fish that point of trees, then we're gonna crank up and we're gonna go across the other side. And I'll tell you one thing, this time of the year, the sun's still in the southern hemisphere, so the northern shoreline gets more direct sunlight. A lot of times, like fishing cover like that, you'll wanna fish the shady side, but this time of the year, I get as many bites on the sunny side of the tree because they're like we are. I mean, on a 56-degree afternoon, do you wanna sit in the shade or sit in the sun? They're like that, you know, they're a sunfish. hoping there'll be grass in the back of this deal right here, since it's on the inside. Honestly, most tournaments are one off a spot, where a guy just goes every day to the same place and throws basically at the same cast. It's where our last tournament was won. So Kevin Van Dam says that in the springtime, that's the color you need to be throwing. This is what I think about what Kevin says. In the springtime, this is what Greg Hackney thinks you should be throwing. You know, we ain't on the last ride. We're
on a revolution.
That's right, this is a revolution. You know, the only thing, I guess the only bad thing about here is, like, realistically, it's gonna probably, whoever's leading the tournament will have over 30 pounds the first day. So I gotta catch them, you know, really, 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 really good. He hit hard, but I can't tell. I ain't caught up with him yet. I think it, nah, it's a little. But boy, he sure hit hard. A rat. The thing about it is, at Okeechobee, that would have been a big one. Here it's a rat. It's a little fat one. Did hit hard though. But the thing about it is, we just got to that hole, so maybe. God, that's a giant. I mean a freaking giant. I mean a giant. Dang. I don't want him to see me catch it, and we'll be done. We're right in the hole, right where they were. I mean, it's a giant. I'm just gonna wait until he's doing something else. I mean, it could be an 8-pounder, I don't know. I mean, it's a giant. And I don't really know what to do because he's kind of turned back this way. I mean, that thing ate it. You know, that's my custom thunder cricket, bull crawfish. I got Charles Herndon made these for me. No one else on the team has them but me. They may want them after this. Let me pull it up. He's in the grass. Look at that. It's not as big as I thought, but it's a nice one. 5 of them weighed, I don't know. Enough. So you've been doubting me all day. I didn't want to fish over here, you know, if there was a bunch of people around or something. It's a nice one. It's a nice one. This area is a really good place. Look at that little custom red blade. I'm not big on orange in that clear water. I like red. So I had him to make me some red ones, you know. And when I think it's too red, I put that green pumpkin blade mint on there instead of the fire crawl. When the water's a little dirtier, I've been running the fire crawl on there. If I had to, in my mind right now, I'm like, if I had to make any drastic change, it'll be basically probably not throwing, the red eye not being a factor, and I just lock that thunder cricket in my hand all day. I'm feeling that. Today was our off day before the event, which the weather was pretty bad this morning, but it's turned out to be pretty nice this evening. Everything's starting to dry out, and so came out to get some of this tackle work done. I probably won't get finished today. I would have, but they've also canceled the first day of the event tomorrow because of high winds. I think it's actually a pretty nice day as far as like sunny, but they're calling for 15 to 25 and with higher gusts possible. So instead of fishing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which I was looking forward to because I like the thought of not fishing a lot on the weekend, just so that there's no, you know, kind of gets you out of the public's way. Probably the only thing that concerns me a little bit about we're gonna be off 2 days and we're having a major weather change, and is those fish moving around, because it's that time of the year when a lot of them are getting ready to spawn. And I had a good practice, and you know, I hate to have to go back and, you know, relocate again, but the only good thing is I did notice I take off boat 100, which is pretty far down the field, and I think my check-in time I thought was like 5:30. So, I mean, I'm gonna have a long day. Historically, afternoons are better in the spring than the mornings. We'll have a long day to relocate and catch us some big old Santee Cooper bass. I'm pretty much gonna be rigged up for anything and everything. I'm expecting a change. So I had 2 swim jig bites yesterday that were up really shallow. One I shook off, one was like a 4.5 pounder I caught. Those were fish that were going ahead and making that move on up there. The biggest one was a male too. I think the one I shook off was probably a male, but at any day, you know, we're just that time of the year that any day those females, that same push, because that's where they're going. That's their next step, is up there where they're spawning. So I will have a swim jig rigged up. But then, you know, the positive to that is also that some of those areas where I only had a couple bites, but they were big ones, maybe, you know, more show up on those places. These fish live out in those ditches and drains, and a lot of them are coming off the main lake. And so, you know, it was really warm last night. It was warm rain this morning. Of course, today is nice and warm. Water temperatures anywhere from like 55 to 59. Yesterday afternoon, I saw 59, you know, before I got off the water, which is, I mean, that's pretty warm, you know, so I think the night's gonna be a little cooler. The high tomorrow is like 60, you know, so I don't know. I'm just ready to fish. You know, you show up for one of these deals and you practice, and I don't wanna wait. I mean, I come here to fish. Let's get this rodeo started, you know, so that's probably my biggest. I'm just anxious, you know, I'm an anxious person.
High wind and rain making their way through South Carolina today.
Yet again, Mother Nature is sticking her hands in the NPFL playbook.
You know, today is supposed to be the first day of the NPFL on Santee Cooper, and we had a big storm front came through yesterday, got some big wind today, and they've elected to cancel the first day because of safety. And you know, I'm kind of on the fence about that, because I'm kind of a hard ass, honestly, and I like to go when the conditions are bad, but I do understand the safety issues. Santee can get really, really bad. They're calling for gusts today up to 40, so I came up to the warehouse, and we're gonna do some social media stuff today and talk about some rods and reels, and just to make the most of this day off. I was thinking maybe I would come out of the door and go, hey everybody, welcome. I feel like I've made the most of my off day today. I've been to Lexington, South Carolina, spent some time there. I actually did an article this morning with David Brown. Then at 11 o'clock, I did a radio show with Kent Brown. I have now made it back to Santee, South Carolina, and just finished up an interview with the National Professional Leauge. I tell you this, when people know that something's been canceled, they're like, uh-oh, he's free, let's do stuff. But it's not been too bad. And now I'm going back to finish working on the rest of my tackle. I didn't get quite finished with that yesterday, so I'll knock the rest of that out. And then I'm gonna shut the door and pull the blinds to and lock the door where nobody can see me. You ready?
Am I ready? Are you ready?
I guess I'm ready as I'll ever be. We've been getting ready now for a week. The great thing is, notice that shine on that cover? Yeah, that's ice. That's what that would be. A little March ice storm here in South Carolina. One of my favorite times of the year to fish is when you still got some ice on your cover. The good thing is this morning, I got on that Under Armour 4.0. Yeah, so I'm toasty inside. I mean, it's like a snowstorm. I should be ready though to fish today because again, I've had a week of preparation. I've had 2 days off. I finished up working on my tackle last night. I put a new prop on this Ghost trolling motor. You know, I fished a million bass tournaments or whatever, but since this is the first one for the NPFL, it's I'm really looking forward to it. I don't have butterflies or anything, but I'm like really happy to be here. We are on one of the greatest fisheries in the United States, honestly. Regardless of the weather, you got to be excited about spending the day on Santee Cooper.
Sun rises, we are ready. Year number 5 of the National Professional Fishing Leauge. Welcome.
I'm fired up, ready to go. I got a long day. I'm boat 100 today, weigh in at 5 o'clock or check in at 5 o'clock. So that gives me a lot of time to experiment and practice because I feel like I'm gonna need to do some practicing this morning. It's funny how, you know, I was for sure I knew where I was starting at before the event. Then after being off 2 days and we're having this, like literally the lake's gonna be like a mirror today to like lunchtime, I've completely scratched my original game plan. It looks like that will be more of a factor later on in the week as we get some weather. Tomorrow's supposed to get a little weather. Today it's gonna be really slick. I'm fishing my B plan. And my B plan is not bad. It has the potential of being really good, but I just feel like it's important for me to go out there this morning and get bit, you know, to get me started in the right direction. So you never know how it's going to turn out, but I'm taking a chance and I'm going to what I think, nothing is ever guaranteed in this, but what I'm thinking is a better chance for me to get bit early this morning. These don't matter. I don't need these. So I'm at 50%. Had 4 bites and I've caught 2. The good thing is I've missed the ones I've not stuck them or anything, so they just biting kind of weird. Like that one there bit twice. I saw him get it when it went in and I checked it and he didn't have it. And then he bit it when I went to pull it out. I'm gonna make a hot lap around through that little old patch right there. I mean, I know there's some 7, 8, 9 pounders all around us, so I'm not gonna get in a hurry. I got till 5. I don't know. No idea what the problem is. I mean, I don't know, like I said, we're gonna fish this out and we're gonna roll them. I knew some of them were like that, you know, but I actually caught a great big one and then shook some more off that felt, you know. It's just crazy to catch that many smaller fish when it's just cold. I ain't doing the right thing. I mean, but the problem is some of them are females. I mean, that's the whole deal. I mean, you got 15 females to win this event, and I'm catching some. That's the reason I keep hanging around because they're not all males, you know. I think I've thrown back the males. They're skinny, they're not as fast. I hope it's not bait choice. I have thought a little bit about that, but I'm like, it's hard for me when I'm getting bit like this to change. They bit that jig so good, and a lot of, I mean, I probably had, that I've seen 4/6 on it in practice. So I'm like, could be timing, I don't know. But like I said, today I would have to re-practice, you know, I said that. I knew you can't beat off the water that many days and something, you know, I mean, you just get out here and be lucky and go, oh, it's exactly like it was. I mean, I feel like I said, worst case scenario today, I need 25 pounds, you know. Well, I'm 8 pounds from that now, you know. And this area we're in, I felt like, I didn't know how my chances would be of catching an 8-pounder. I thought I would do it with 5s and 6s here to have a big bag, because that's what I saw him practice. I never saw a giant, maybe 6 3/4, I guess maybe the biggest one that bit me, but I do know one thing, you have to stay on your toes here because any cast can be as big as they grow, so I can't snooze, I gotta stay, but like every cast is gonna be a big one. Fish them 2 and then we'll roll. Do you have a life jacket? Yep. Oh. Damn, it got hung on something. I hooked that good. I thought it was hooked good. It's not. I can see the dang bait sticking out. Oh. Dang, don't lose this fish. Gotta have it. It's not that big, it's skinny. Now we gotta go through this whole culling process. When you got a bunch of them the same. It's bigger than that one. Back to the deep. Okay. We made some headway. I'm wet, but that's okay. So it is 11:56 and I got one. That's where I'm looking at it. I got one bass, so I got to catch 4 between now and 5. We got a lot of time. Almost like too much. I'm like, ooh, we got to fish that much.
Gonzales, Louisiana. How about it for Greg Hackney? He's got 5 in the bag, day 1, his debut here at the NPFL. We are honored that he's come over to fish with us on behalf of the ownership group. 19 pounds, 15 ounces. Let's see some of them fish right there for Greg Hackney.
I did a lot of today.
I caught a couple of those.
Yeah, I was kind of distraught a little bit. Yep. When I ran back down the lake to the other part, I got down there, it was just dead, slick, sunny. I didn't stay down there long. I came back. I went back to an area where I had a couple great big bites in practice and stopped in there, fished a few minutes, didn't get a bite, and then I went back to where I started at, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna look at the weights and kind of decide tomorrow and see what the weather does. You know, the wind's supposed to blow big tomorrow. I see it's clouding up, so if it does, for sure, I'll start back down the, down the lake, kind of where you and I fished that day in practice, and I caught the one, but there was only a couple boats in that area when I was there today. I caught one little one. out in front. And then I got up in that hole and it was so slick, I was like, I need to go. So I rolled out and came back down the lake. But not one day this week I've caught 9 bass and 3 of them didn't weigh over 6 pounds. You know, so the second guess was I had no way of knowing, you know, we've not fished in 2 days. So I had to go with what I felt like would be the most dependable. And then what I was anticipating, the wind would blow in the afternoon, and it never did. I was planning on just reversing my fishing. You know what I mean? Like I said, well, I won't start on those fish. I'll start on these and then I'll leave there and go because I had a long day. And then I went there and it was still no wind. So, I mean, I can't control that. I'm curious to see who the guys are that caught the big bags too. Are they local guys or they just random guys? And the reason I look at that is that will be able to tell me if they can duplicate or not. If it's just somebody from somewhere else, maybe they duplicate, maybe they don't. That would make me feel a little better. If it's a local guy, chances are he'll have a better chance at, you know, duplicating his catch, but you know, whatever. I mean, it's all right. It's not the end of the world.
Onward and upward.
Onward and upward. Okay, let's ride. I mean, I really didn't do that bad yesterday. I was a little hard on myself, which I find that, but after I looked at the weights, I was 1 bite, you know. Well, I'm going to a different area to start this morning. I may end up in the same area that I was in yesterday, but I am going to start a little different just because there's a little wind already blowing this morning. Yesterday, I made a pretty good boat ride a couple times during the day. Today, I won't be able to do that, so my rotation will have to be a little better just because it's going to be a lot rougher. The morning bite is so important that I light down on the right place, or at least in the first 3 hours, because it seems like yesterday morning, I mean, from the time we got there till 9 o'clock was good. And I'll also be getting to my starting point this morning 45 minutes quicker than I got to my starting point yesterday. I need to be as high as I possibly can get, so I'll, you know, have longer to fish tomorrow.
Boat 100, meeting first call from Gonzales, Louisiana, Greg Hackney.
Slacked the line. I don't know why it didn't get it. I think it's little. Bigger than I thought. It's a keeper. I thought it was little. I say it's a keeper. It is for now. I went ahead and came on back in here because I didn't know how many boats were going to run through out there on where I wanted to fish at out there. So I was like, well, I'll come on in here and fish and then go out there. That was a giant. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. I promise you there's 30 pounds in this hole, but I literally could have caught 10 on almost 10 casts in here when it was cold. And they dispersed. They were on a little old break up there around that mat, and I don't know where they went. And they were all females. The only thing I'm not doing is plinking a worm around, and there's so much cover, it's hard for me to do that unless I'm really dialed in, because they could just be anywhere. I don't know if the wind has gotten less or what, but I mean, we're on the windy shoreline now and we're not getting any wind. I mean, I need some chop, you know, not just a little ripple. I think that's the reason I'm not getting bit. I'm gonna fish these mats right here again, And then I'm cutting over on the other side and get with the wind and roll out. One little hiccup. I missed the big one. Would have really helped me. I culled one time. I've caught a limit, but
Did you?
yeah. Hey, you didn't have confidence. You don't sound like you didn't have any confidence in
Of
me.
course I have confidence.
Yeah, about whatever time y'all left, I went to another place and I said, well, I'll catch me 5. So I got up there and went to swimming a jig and caught one right off, and man, freaking big one, smoked it. I never really felt it. No, it's kind of weird because I don't miss very many doing that, and I didn't stick it or anything. I just barely felt something when I set the hook. Then about the next cast, I catch my 5th one. I go back in that place where I caught the big one when y'all were there. I catch a nice one, culled a smallest one, but that's it. I'm probably realistically about the exact same thing I had yesterday. It don't matter where I go, it's the same. That's my smallest fish right there. I think, I hope. It's a better one. Another better one. We needed 3 more. Thought I had the bag I was looking for.
He had 19 pounds and 15 ounces on day 1. Let's just say an even 20. It's easy for me to add up math. He'd probably take a 1 ounce. It's extra money right there.
I take it.
5 in the bag today.
I'll take it.
All right, right here, sir. He's staying right there. I'm going to stand behind you, get you all the right there. He's going to go up a pound. We're going to see some fish. 20 pounds, 9 ounces, a 2-day total of 40 pounds and 8 ounces. Get loud, folks, for Greg Hackney, the Louisiana Pro.
So fishing overall today was tough. Weight-wise, it turned out, okay for the day, but it was a grind, I honestly, it was one fish made the whole day, and that was the first big one I caught this morning, because I just completely just settled down and I could grind. And I feel like, honestly, I even thought about that had I not had that fish, it would have made me fish bad, honestly. It would have probably made me fish in a hurry, but catching that fish right off, knowing that was one that I didn't have to get rid of, and I spent the rest of the day mentally, to fish for full bites. So I guess today I only had 8 or 9 bites, keeper bites today. It was really grindy. It turned out weight-wise it was okay, but I'm going to do something different tomorrow. I feel like I should be able to fish a little freer tomorrow, if that makes sense. I want one of those giant bags of fish, and I want a giant bass while I'm here. I was around them 2 days of practice, and it warmed up, which is better fishing conditions, as far as you don't have to wear all those clothes and all that. But boy, I've just really struggled since the weather's warmed back up. So I don't know. Tomorrow's a different day. We're gonna do something different.
Welcome, friends and neighbors, to this Stop One Showdown Sunday.
I'm going back to where I fished the first day to start today, and then because I got a long day, so I can do the same thing. And the wind's not going to be back. It's going to be out of the northeast, and it's not supposed to blow really hard all day, so I feel like I'll be able to move around. The other thing is it's cloudy. It's a good day to fish trees. like cold and cloudy are probably my favorite. So here's the deal. I can't win. I can't catch 40. I would have to catch 40 pounds today to have a shot, and I can't catch 40. And it's not that I'm giving up. I mean, I'll fish as hard a day as I have any day, but I have a different mindset. Today, you know, the main goal is to be consistent and finish as high as I can, you know. You gotta fish every day like it's your last. I mean, and that's just my motto. I don't know if I'm gonna be awake tomorrow, you know what I mean? But so let's make the most of the day that we have. I've been, you know, the biggest thing, I've just been concentrating on places where I'd had the most bites. Today I'm gonna fish places I've not even practiced. I know that worries you, but you know what I mean? You're like, did you practice? Catch one. Pretty bass, female, full of eggs. Yay! It's a super good area. I mean, that's the reason I came here the first day, you know, in this creek. But this is better conditions everywhere. This is better conditions to fish where I fished yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, this is perfect. Well, I captured another one, but it's definitely one right here that we don't want to keep. I mean, this morning I've already went through 9 baits before y'all got here. I mean, I've thrown a lipless bait, a thunder cricket, spinner bait. I swam a jig. You know, I want to know what's going on so I can, you know, when I fish a place, I want to make sure I'm throwing the right thing, if that makes sense. Because it's also, with this weather and just the way it's been this week, it'd be pretty easy to fish over them if you weren't doing the right thing. That's a giant. I thought it was a giant. When a giant was a nice one. God, it lacked the lines on the got it. That's the one we needed anyway. God, it's a big one. Come here. Come here, come here, come here. Come here. I got one. Ha ha ha! That's the one we've been fishing for 3 days. 3 days. I mean, a nice bass. Yes, I'm very happy. Very, very happy. How the plot thickens. I mean, that is pretty crazy, but that's bass fishing.
So the last one you filmed me catching?
Yeah.
Which was a really nice one?
Yeah.
I told it right before I left. Yeah, I caught a 5-pounder just as y'all went around the island, pulled. Then I caught another 5-pounder. I went back down there too, the place where I caught the 2 big ones, and I caught another 5-pounder there.
Nice.
I had a nice day.
You did.
Hackney.
Mr. Brad, how you doing?
Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Let me get in here and swing this rig.
Okay.
For you. I'm just not a pretty face, Greg. They make me work.
How about a King's Most Pro from Gonzales, Louisiana? How about it for Greg Hackney? I know he hack attacked it on day 2. Did he hack attack it on day 3? It looks like it. He's got 5 in the bucket. 40 pounds and 8 ounces on the first 2 days. He needs 24. I look at Kyle, Kyle looks at me, I go, I don't know, let's look at Greg. 24 pounds, 24 pounds, 27 pounds and 5 ounces. Shake that man's hand and let's see some fish. Greg Hackney taking the lead here at stop number 1 of the Strike King NPFL event. It's Santee Cooper with a 3-day weight of 67 pounds and 13 ounces. Get loud, folks, for Greg Hackney, the Hack Attack. New circuit, bass fishing, it's all the same. Why not take the damn lead?
Well, it'll be short-lived.
That's all right. That was a good check.
Yeah, it was a fun day today. Today's everything. The weather was great, and yeah, it's pretty wild. But by far the best day I've had, just in numbers of bass too. I probably threw back a 20-pound bag, you know. So yeah. Today was
you
fun.
want to fish 4 days, is what you said.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm just glad that to get to fish the last day and stand on this stage and enjoy today.
Great to have you over here. Sit in that chair. We're going to get you something to drink. You're taking over the hot seat. Greg Hackney at 67-13. Next, Alliance North America Pro from Woodruff, South Carolina. How about it for Derek Letney?
I sure can.
41 plus 5 plus 27 pounds even right there.
Yeah, thank y'all for coming out.
What you been catching them on?
Jig,
Jig? What color?
peanut butter bug.
North Carolina. How about it for Jamie?
I caught one on that today, about 3 pounds.
How about that?
Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, because just I hadn't caught 25 this week, and I knew I had been around them, and so a little disappointing, but that was my fault. I just didn't make the right adjustments the first couple days, and today it just seemed like I got in the groove and had almost 28 pounds. So I didn't get that dirty 30. I got close, and I kind of felt it like I thought it was going to happen, but still a great day and turned out a great event. So this is what I wanted to do, because I even thought about that today. I didn't need a lot of time off from the last 2 elites to the Classic. I needed to be fishing. And it seems like it's taken me this event to kind of, find out how Stella got her groove back. You know what I mean? I don't know why the first 2 I came out the gate rusty this year, and even this one I came out the first day kind of rusty, and it 3 days in, and I finally seemed like I felt good, started making decisions, and honestly today it was easier to make decisions. I don't know why. I was really laid back and just kind of coasted around and fished like I like to. Honestly blown away with this being my first NPFL event, just in how they run the event. Just the deal is they're the only company out there that's banned the forward-facing sonar. No one else would take a chance to do that. And they broke records here in weights without it. So it's just, it's a cool deal. It's bass fishing, it's what we all grew up loving to do. I love to fish bass tournaments, and this is just showing up, this is a good bass tournament. And I thought I wanted to do it, but now I know I made the right decision 100%. And they got a big championship at the end of the year, and I'm gonna start off with some really good points. So I'm looking forward to the rest of it and see what the future brings.